In this video, we're going to explore the cloning tools built inside of Modo. In previous videos, we talked about the copy and paste functionality built into Modo, and that works really well to duplicate geometry inside of our 3D scene. But where it breaks down is copy and pasting or duplicating large sums of objects. If you look at my 3D scene here, I have a column, and I want 5 of these columns, and I want them to be evenly distributed along a certain axis. So I want them all evenly spaced along the x-axis. Now, I could use the copy and paste tool and then kind of guesstimate where I need to move all these objects so they look like they're in a straight line. I could do that, but that's a lot of work that we don't have to do. The clone tools built inside of Modo are awesome. They're awesome. And they take a lot of the guesswork away from duplicating objects in our 3D scene. Now, to get to the cloning tools, we have to go to the Duplicate tab over here in our toolbar. And if we go down to the bottom of this list, there it is right there. Here's the clone tool. Like every tool that's built inside of Modo, it's all dependent on selections. I know that I want to copy this kind of Greek column, or excuse me, Roman column. So I need to select that Roman column. Now, I had it selected before I started recording this video, but if yours isn't selected, you could double click on it and then maybe hold down the shift key and then double click on this top part. Or here's the fast way. If you hold down the middle mouse button and draw out a selection box, it's going to select through the geometry and select every single polygon inside of that box. So I like that. It's kind of the fast way of selecting large groups of polygon. So I'm going to go back over to my clone tool now, fire it off, and let's click in the viewport to activate the tool, and we're going to get a couple tool handles. Before we talk about these tool handles, let's travel all the way back over to our tool properties and start here at the top with the number of clones. So this value right here represents how many copies of my little Roman column that I'm going to make, okay? So I know I want 5, so I want to enter in 5, and then go back to my 3D viewport. Now, these tool handles are going to represent how far apart our columns are going to be. So I just left-clicked and dragged along the X translate handle, the red one, and now I'm pulling out 5 copies of my little column, okay? And we're doing it, we're moving these columns along the x-axis. So while the tool is still live, though, we can do it along the z-axis if we want, or maybe we can do it, have them evenly translate along the y-axis. So we get a lot of control with these translate handles, but that's not where it ends. If we go back over to our tool properties, we have a couple other channels that we can edit for all of our clones, including the scale. Maybe perhaps I want all of my clones to be smaller as they go down the line. So by adjusting the scale parameters, they shrink as they go down the line, which is kind of cool. Or maybe I want to give them some rotation as they are. Let's see, there we go, like that. That's pretty cool. So we can just rotate. Let's do a little bit more extreme. There we go. So as they go down the cloned path, they're going to be scaled 90% along all 3 axes, and they're going to be rotated 23.5 degrees along the x-axis. So that's pretty cool. There's one additional thing that I want to show you, and let me hit undo real fast. Go back. Okay. So I'm going to put my clone back to 1. Notice that I haven't dropped the tool yet. It's still live. So as long as the tool is still live, I can edit all of these properties over here. Now this next one is we're gonna look at this between category right here, this between value. Now what this is gonna do, I want to flush out kind of a start point and an end point. Okay, so and the between command is going to put a number of clones in between these 2 points. Now watch what happens. So it's going to try to figure out how to evenly space all of those guys between the first one and the second one. This is really, really handy if you know where you want the beginning and the ending of your columns to be, but you don't know how to distribute all of them in between. This is really, really cool, and it's a welcome addition to the Modo tool set. So this is how to clone something using the cloning tool. There are a number of other cloning tools that I'll let you guys explore on your own. I'm going to have another video about the radial array because this one's a lot of fun. But definitely check out the curve clone and the scatter clone. They're basically going to be doing the exact same thing, taking some geometry and duplicating it along either a path or some user-defined properties to get the end result. So that's the cloning tools built inside of Modo.